Beginning in Kaduna State, where about 50 persons have been reportedly killed and several others abducted by armed terrorists in Giwa local government area of the state. The incident was reported to have taken place on Thursday night and into the early hours of Friday morning. Well, police authorities in the state say they are still investigating the attack and compiling the actual number of affected victims. A member of a vigilante group in one of the affected communities told journalists that the bandits invaded at least 6 communities and opened fire on innocent residents. He added that several houses and motorcycles were also burnt by the attackers who went ahead to rustle the villagers' cattle. The latest attack comes barely a week after 37 persons were killed in a similar attack by terrorists in Kaura local government area of the state. Well, this brings the total number of persons killed in the state to at least 87 in less than 10 days. Well, all is set at the Eagle Square for the All Progressives Congress National Convention, which is holding today. Pavilions at the venue are already tagged according to states, indicating how members are expected to seat. The main arena is still cordoned off by security operatives drawn from the police, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, and men of the Department of State Service. This is in order to maintain security around the venue, especially as supporters are trying to outshine one another. All around the Eagle Square and the Federal Secretariat, party supporters are carrying placards and banners with faces and names of the supporters conspicuously displayed. Accreditation for delegates is scheduled to start at about now. Well, let's bring in our correspondent, Demola Lawrence, who joins us from the venue of the convention. Demola, of course, it's good to see you in the Federal Capital Territory. This is, of course, a much anticipated convention, a political meeting, not just from the opposition, but also from all Nigerians. But talk to us about what we're seeing. By now, we should see accredited national delegates already seated in the Eagle Square.
Okay, so Sarah, first, let me tell you that this is the breaking news. Out of the 6 aspirants, of course, that are contesting for the post of the chairmanship of the APC in this convention, Abdullahi, of course, has been chosen to be the consensus candidate. All other 6 candidates, of course, have stepped down for him. So it is indeed a very good one for the APC as they go into this convention. So that is to say that, of course, a unity list would definitely be sure for the APC going into this convention. So to start off from that place. But of course, if you can see at my back, the security situation is indeed very, very interesting. You can see the security men, they are here to make sure that everything is going on well. You can see the police and of course the army, the NCDC, they are also here. Accreditation, of course, is supposed to start about now. This is past 10 already. Accreditation have not started yet. So we are waiting for accreditation to start. So it's been a beehive of activities that have been happening, of course, in at Eagle Square.
Oh, of course, there's so much noise there at the background, Demola. Of course, we understand that party supporters, of course, are jubilating and campaigning for their preferred candidate. But from what you just said, there's a breaking news that other candidates have, of course, chosen a consensus candidate for the post of the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, which is Abdullahi Adamu. Of course, we will definitely get updates on that. Demola, I don't know if you can still hear me. Of course, talk to us about the mood at the Eagle Square right now.
Okay, so the update from the National Convention is, of course, that 6 aspirants out of the ones contesting for the position of the national chairman, 6 of them have actually stepped down for Abdullahi Adamu, and of course, and the name of the 6 contestants that stepped down for Abdullahi Adamu, the former Nasarawa governor Tanko Amakura, former Benue State governor George Akume, former Zamfara State Governor Abdulaziz Yari, and Kwara State politician Sali Mustafa, Niger State Senator Sani Musa, and Muhammad Etu. The 6 aspirants have actually stepped down for Abdullahi Adamu, of course, to get the post of the chairmanship candidate for the All Progressive Congress. There's some probability that, of course, there will be a unity list. We're still expecting that the unity list will come out. But you also asked for the update of what is happening. Security situation here, of course, has been top-notch. If you can see at my back, you can see the security at my back. You see the army, and of course, you see the police. The NCDC are also here to make sure that everything is going on as perfectly planned by the Convention Planning Committee and of course the Security Committee for this particular convention. So it's been a beehive of activities, and of course accreditation is supposed to have started by now. This is past 10. Accreditation, from what you're hearing, have not started yet.
So, of course, a lot of persons are interested to know what the significance of this convention holds for the political space in Nigeria and, of course, for the opposition.
Yeah, so one of the things that one really need to think about is the fact that when you look at what these convention actually pose for the significance of Nigeria's political space. First is the fact that APC is the ruling party, so there's definitely they want to maintain the power in the next dispensation. So what does that mean? That means that at this particular convention, when they choose their leaders, they are the ones who are going to pilot their affairs, come up with strategies, come up with policies that will be able to benefit the Nigerian space, and of course the Nigerian Nigeria as a country. So it simply means that for every political party who wants to contest election in this country, of course the National Convention is very, very key and very, very important to make sure that you have leaders that will pilot the affairs of the party, and of course that will lead into the 2023 presidential election. The premise, of course, for the APC will come up later sometimes this year. So it is very, very important that the significance of these translate not just from the party itself, but translate into what the political economy of what Nigeria is going to gain if APC, of course, is going to come on board in 2023.
Admiral Lawrence, our correspondent, they give us live updates from the Eagle Square. That's the venue of the All Progressives Congress National Convention, which holds today. Thank you so much. Meantime, APC national leader and presidential aspirant Bola Tinubu has met with APC former House of Representatives members forum in Abuja. Our correspondent Ola Awako reports.
Bola Tinubu is here to address the APC former House of Representatives members forum. He started by highlighting some of his achievements as he identifies few of the challenges that need to be urgently addressed in the country.
We are blessed with arable land, and we have dams around. All we have neglected is reticulation of road dams to create green lands, fertile one, to produce sufficient pharmaceutical vegetables and others that will heal our body and grow food for ourselves.
He spoke fervently about his readiness to turn things around for the better in Nigeria and how he would need the support of the former federal lawmakers in becoming the party's flag bearer ahead of the 2023 presidential election.
I'm ready to serve my country, not to run away from it, to be there, to work hard, invent, develop.
The former federal lawmakers say they are ready to pull their weight behind Asiwaju.
All the things you did when you were the governor of Lagos State, you did us proud. We know all the things that happened, and there was never a time that Lagos State stood still.
Former chairman of the EFCC, NUHU RIBADU, says Asiwaju is the most transparent leader he has ever seen.
I have never seen a leader who is so open, unbelievably transparently open, like Asiwaju.
Thank you so much. You have.
This consultation meeting by Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is coming less than 12 hours before the long-awaited APC convention, and he believes it will yield a positive result for the actualization of his aspiration. Ola Awakon, TVC News, Abuja.
We're still talking politics. The PDP caucus in Adamawa State House of Assembly has passed a vote of confidence on Governor Ahmadu Fintiri for the various transformation projects executed in 3 years. The Speaker, Aminu Iya Abbas, said the achievements is why 14 PDP members in the House have pledged to buy the nomination and expression of interest form of the PDP for the governor. Correspondent Owolabi Adenusi compiled this report.
These are PDP lawmakers in Adamawa State House of Assembly, led by the Speaker, Aminu Isa Abbas. The purpose of the meeting is to assess performance of the PDP government in the state ahead of the 2023 general election. The lawmakers say they are impressed with giant strides made by the Fintiri's administration, citing payment of WAEC and NECO fees and feeding school children, aside numerous capital projects executed across the state.
They have been oversighting on all the projects. We've been seeing what they're doing. We've been seeing the quality of work that His Excellency is embarking upon, and that is what gave us confidence. We don't mind what people will say, as long as Adamawa State people benefit. That's what we stand for. That's what we have voted for.
The Speaker of the State House of Assembly says the PDP lawmakers are pleased with the Fintiri scorecard and have decided to purchase nomination forms for him to contest again.
Members of the People's Democratic Party extraction, PDP, in the House have now contributed the sum of 21 million naira for the purchase of the expression of interest and nomination form for His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State.
The endorsement is coming barely a few days after member representing Mayor Belowa constituency and former PDP Onk local government chairman Ahmed Jarima Issa, along with thousands of their supporters, defected to APC. Mr. Issa, who was received by the state chairman of APC, commended President Muhammadu Buhari, stressing that Onk local government area is a major beneficiary of this administration in terms of appointment and development. He promised to work for the victory of APC in 2023 election.
Efforts of SGF, Boss Mustafa, make me to come back to APC. I promise to work for the victory of APC in 2023.
As the 2023 draws closer, the major political parties in Adamawa are working round the clock to outsmart each other in order to produce.
The Lagos socialite Ogbulu Chidinma Pearl has been sentenced to 27 months imprisonment for the offense of distributing petrol as souvenirs during an installation party on the 5th of March 2022 at an event center in the state. But the jail terms carry an option of fine totaling about 1 million naira. The defendant had been arraigned on the 14th of March at the Special Offences Court sitting at Oshodi before Chief Magistrate Kehinde Ogundare, where she pleaded not guilty. But on Thursday, she changed a plea from not guilty to guilty on 3-count charge. Subsequently, she was arraigned on 4 counts bordering on conduct likely to cause a breach of peace, endangering human life by distributing combustible matter in a public gathering, intends to do harm to another, and unlawfully carrying on the business of storage and containerizing petroleum products without a permit. Delivering judgment in the case on Thursday, Justice Ogundare sentenced her to 3 months imprisonment or a 15,000 naira fine on counts of one of the 3 charges, and 1 year imprisonment or 500,000 naira fine on the second counts. The Chief Magistrate also sentenced the socialite to 1 year in prison or 500,000 naira fine on the 3rd count. Well, thanks for staying with us. Members of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities and the Non-Academic Staff Union say they will embark on a 2-week warning strike from Monday if the federal government fails to meet up with the agreement reached with the unions in 2009 within the next 48 hours. The leadership of the Untitled Chapter of the union expressed displeasure at the federal government's non-compliance in fulfilling their part of the agreement to date. The Joint Action Committee chairman of the union's Uniben branch, Osewa Broderick, noted that the struggle is not only on workers' remuneration, but also on the poor funding of state universities, among others. They urged all members to stay away from the university premises during the period of the strike.
In 2021, February, we also went through the same process. All along, all the things we presented before government, less than 40% of it have been realized. And we believe that the government, set up this system, the university system. They should live up to their expectation to fund the system, to attend to the welfare of our members, and also to make sure that the system does not collapse. So we are using this as another opportunity to let government know that we are giving 2 weeks again, a warning strike. If all these issues are not attended to, we will go on a full-blown and indefinite strike.
And as we speak, nothing was done in that regard. So these are the current demands. They are still centered on the same thing I've just told you. Most of them are justice. Now the current demand is pay our minimum wage arrears, pay our members, promotion arrears as well is there, and renegotiate with us. That renegotiation is supposed to be every 3 years. You review that agreement that was entered in 2009, and up to now, no meeting has been held, apart from the one they held about 2 or 3 days back now, because of this threat that we want to go on strike.
Well, in Edo State, the government has denied the widely reported sack of workers under the State Sports Commission. This was made known by the Deputy Governor of the state, Philip Shaibu, while addressing the athletes who blocked the gate to the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in protest over the alleged sack. Our correspondent Paul Ezenwa reports.
For the second day running, staff of Edo Sports Commission are protesting alleged sack of 513 workers by the state government. Vehicular and human traffic around the stadium were affected as all adjoining roads and routes are blocked. The sportsmen and women are demanding a reversal of the sack that was contained in a linked memo.
I said they are sacking us, okay? Which one is with deployment? If it's with deployment, we are Edo people now. If they want to with deployment, we'll go to anywhere they want to take us. So we're not afraid to work in any part of the state. If they are with deployment, they should bring a letter of deployment. We'll go to whichever ministries they are taking us to.
We have a lot of people here who is eating from here. Now this is putting food on their table. So we don't know what happened. We will not steal, we will not fight, we will not destroy anybody. We don't know why government took that decision. So with this media, we are begging the government to revise that decision.
Here, the Deputy Governor, in company of some members of the Sports Commission, arrived at the stadium to address the aggrieved sportsmen and women. He says the government has not relieved anybody of their job.
The Sports Commission chairman came to tell me that they say they sack people. I said we have not approved sacking of anybody. Whoever can no longer do well in sports that are in our payroll, we are going to take them out of here to the ministry where it can work. Some of them that have challenges, we deal with the challenges. Those of you that are still very active, we'll prepare you for open cap for Delta 2022. That is what we have agreed. So all this story of people being sacked, there is nothing like that. There's nobody that sacked anybody. So whoever have told you have been sacked, that person is the problem you have.
With this denial, free nails will find some relief, even if it is temporary, as coming days will prove whether the reported sack was a mere rumor or not. Paul Ezenwa, TVC News, Benin.
President Muhammadu Buhari has granted concessional promotion to 12 master warrant officers to the officer cadre of lieutenant. The ceremony at the Naval headquarters was presided over by the Chief of Naval Staff. Correspondent Sifon Isian reports.
12 master warrant officers of the Nigerian Navy get presidential concessional commissioning as lieutenants. This is the first time in the service that ratings will be promoted to the officer cadre.
The Nigerian Navy activated the concessional commission provision in the Harmonized Task Officers 2017 revised. The provisions of the concessional commission allow for outstanding personnel of the rank of master warrant officers and above or equivalents who possess exemplary leadership qualities and have distinguished themselves through hard work, dedication, and meritorious service to be commissioned as officers in the armed forces of Nigeria.
He urges the newly promoted officers to be steadfast and loyal to the service and country.
I charge you to remain steadfast and loyal to constituted authority and be focused on your assigned duties. You are also to avoid any acts that could bring disrepute to the Nigerian Navy and by extension, the Nigerian nation.
The promotion brings the officers to an extraordinary peak of their career in the Nigerian Navy. The promotion opens up a new vista in the career path of naval ratings. Sifon Asian, TVC News, Abuja.